The radius of convergence of the power series, this is. To find radius of convergence of power series, we have two types of formulae normally we use to evaluate radius of convergence. R equal to 1 upon limit n tends to infinity un raised to the power 1 upon n, where un is un x raised to the power n. This is nth term of the power series. And second one is r equal to limit n tends to infinity mod of un upon un plus 1. I took mod because sometimes it may happens series have negative terms, so conveniency or to find radius mod took. Sometimes we test power series or series positive term series by root test limit n tends to infinity un raised to the power 1 upon n less than 1. If this limit is less than 1, then we say series summation a n x raised to the power n is convergent. Here un is this one, a n x raised to the power n, and we find the value of x means transpose other terms of un to other part of the inequality, and we get a relation either in x greater than or x less than, and from here we also get the same value. It means for which value of x this series convergent or not. And second one is this format, and here there is no appearance of x because when we apply this formula 1 upon n cancel out the power of n and we get this relation, so there is no need to write x here or x raised to the power n here. Only an of the or coefficients of the x I used here. So I'm going to use this first formula to evaluate this limit. It will be r equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 upon n plus 2 upon n divided by raised to the power n square and 1 upon n by the formula. Now only simplify this expression n tends to infinity, you will get the radius of convergence 1 upon 1 plus 2 upon n raised to the power n square, or normally n because n is square by 1 n, 1 power cancel out, so left to 1 is only n. Now this is the format of 1 plus 1 raised to the power infinity indeterminate form type. So this is our fx fn because this is in terms of n, and this is gn, so its limit will be e raised to the power fn into gn. So this is limit n tends to infinity 1 upon e square. So r equal to this one 1 upon e square. Which one option is giving 1 upon e square? Option D is giving the information of radius of convergence, correct information. So option D is our right choice here. Let an be a sequence of positive real numbers. Suppose that L equal to limit of an plus 1 divided by an. Which of the following is true? If L equal to 1, then limit of an equals 1. If L equal 1, then limit of an equals 0. If L less than 1, then limit an equal 1. If L less than 0, then limit of an equal to 0. These four options is about the limit of an when L is either equal to 1 or L less than 1. Then asked about limit of an. This is the question, and given that an is a sequence of positive real number and L equal to limit of an plus 1 divided by an. It is given, and this is we have to tell about. Now as an is a sequence, if you make a series a summation an, then this is a series of positive real number or positive term series. Positive term series, and by ratio test this positive term series will converge if limit of an plus 1 divided by an equal to L less than 1. If this limit is a real number and less than 1, then series an convergent, and for a convergent series it is necessary limit of an equal to 0. If limit is 0, then we cannot conclude about the convergence of the series. It may be convergent, series may be convergent or not. For example, if you consider an equal to 1 upon n, then this limit is 0, but series summation an not convergent. So using ratio test, if limit is less than 1, then limit of an equal to 0, it is we find solution of this with the help of series concept. So option D is right choice. Suppose that S is the sum of the convergent series summation an. Define Tn by this an plus 1 plus an plus 2. Then series Tn diverges in option A. Option B converges to 3s minus a1 minus a2, converges to this number and converges to this one. Means we have to tell about convergence of Tn, as Tn is defined by this. As S equal to limit of this one, limit of partial sum Sn, where Sn is partial sum of summation an up to n terms. This is S equal to limit of this partial sum Sn. Now Tn is defined by an plus 1 plus an plus 2. Then we have to test its convergence. So take summation both side, and summation of this one equal to summation, it's running from 1 to infinity. So summation distribute over these terms. Summation n equal to 1 to infinity an plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an plus 1 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an plus 2. Because we have the information about summation an, means we have the information about this one. It means n equal to 1 to infinity we have information when n tends to infinity. So you have to write these two terms in this format. Last two terms make as first term. So limit of Tn or summation Tn can be written as summation n equal to 1 to infinity an plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an plus 1 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an plus 2 can be written as first term is same as plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an. Now you cannot make term a1 from this summation, so you need to subtract an, because from this a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus a4, and it is, if you put n in this one, if you put n in this one in circle portion, then what will you get? You will get a2 plus a3 plus a4, means after subtracting this a1 it is perfect. There is no conceptual error. Plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an minus a1 minus a2. Similarly, I made this one because this will give you a3 plus a4 plus and so on. So to write summation an, you need to add a1 a2, so need to subtract a1 a2, need to subtract a1. Which quantity I added, need to subtract it. So subtract this one, subtract these two. Now summation Tn can be written as summation an plus summation an minus a1 plus summation an minus a1 minus a2. These 1, 2 and 3 equal to summation 3 times summation an minus a1 a1 2 times a1 minus a2, and this is 3 times summation of an is given to us as minus 2 times a1 minus a2. It means summation of Tn is equal to 3 times s minus 2 times a1 minus a2. Which options is given this information? Means Tn is converges to summation Tn, means 3s minus 2 times a1 minus a2. Option D is our right choice here. Let M be a real 6 by 6 matrix. Let 2 and minus 1 be two eigenvalues of M. If M raised to the power 5 equal to AI plus BM, where AB are reals, then values of AB is asked in this question. M is of the size 6 by 6 and 2 minus 1 are eigenvalues of this matrix. The equation M raised to the power 5 equal to AI plus BM, this is annihilating polynomial because it is satisfied by M. And we know that minimal polynomials divide annihilating polynomial. Also minimal polynomial divide characteristic polynomial. Annihilating polynomial and least degree monic polynomial is known as minimal polynomial. So if it is this given equation is satisfied by M, it is annihilating polynomial. So and this polynomial will be divisible by minimal polynomial, and we know that roots of minimal polynomial is roots of characteristic equation as well as annihilating polynomial. So 2 and minus 1 will be the roots of minimal polynomial, so it will be the roots of annihilating polynomial. Annihilating polynomial may be least degree because characteristic equation having the same degree as the size of the matrix. So m raised to the power 5 equal to ai plus b m. This is its annihilating polynomial or annihilating equation will be x raised to the power 5 equal to a plus b x, and it is satisfied by eigenvalues 2 minus 1. So put both eigenvalues in this. 2 raised to the power 5 equal to a plus b into 2, and when put minus 1, a minus b. Now subtract these. This will cancel out. It will be 33. 2 raised to the power 5 is 32. 32 plus 133 is equal to 3b. This implies b equal to 11. Now put this value of b in this equation. Minus 1 equal to a minus b. b is minus 11. Sorry, b is 11. This minus 1. So value of a equal to 10. So which one option is giving the value a equal to 10 and b equal to 11? So option A is true. Let M be of the size 4 by 3 real matrix, and let E1, E2, E3 be the standard basis of R3. Which of the following is true? If rank of M is equal to 1, then ME1, ME2 is a linearly independent set. If rank 2, then this set is linearly independent. If rank 2, then this set is linearly independent. If rank 3, then this set is linearly independent set. Means we have to given rank, size and standard ordered basis of R cube, and we have to ask about if elements of the basis multiply with m, then it will form linearly independent set or not, as E1, E2, E3 are elements or member of standard basis. So E1, E2, this set means E1, E2 are column vectors. So this one is linearly independent when rank is 1, when rank equal to 1. This set is linearly independent when rank equal to 2. This set ME3 and first member is same is linearly independent when rank 3, or this set is linearly independent when rank 2. We have to tell about this set in different situations is linearly independent or not. Size of matrix is 4 by 3. It's real. E1, E2, E3 are standard ordered basis. If rank of M is 1, what it means? It means number of non-zero row or column is only one, and its determinant is 0. If we have to test ME1, ME2 is linearly independent or not, if this any set containing 0 vector or 0 elements, then this set will be not linearly independent anymore. So anyhow, if we are getting 0 in this set, then this set will not be linearly independent. Because rank is 1, so we have I am free to make a column 0 0, and this column I also made 0 0, and this one is suppose 1 0 0, and this is also even 1 or 0 here, 1 0. Suppose this is I2, this is M E2, because second entry is 0, so when you multiply by each row you will get 0. You will get 0 matrix of this size, correct size, 3 by 3. Sorry, 0 matrix of this size, because this is the size of 4 by 3 and this is 3 by 1. So you will get 4 by 1 0 matrix. So this will be 0 matrix, means for a particular matrix this, we have 0 matrix in this set. So option A is false here. Now come to the second option. If rank of M is equal to 2, then this set is linearly independent or not. Rank 2, it means we can make 2 entries 0, 2 entries non-zero. Suppose I made this entry, this is non-zero entry I made here. Now size of this matrix is same, 4 by 3, and this is non-zero row and this is also non-zero row. So rank of this matrix is 2, and if you multiply by this matrix, then the this set containing 0, so it again not linearly independent. Now come to the next option. When rank of M is equal to 2, then this set ME1 ME3 is linearly independent or not. So rank 2, it means make now this entry 1 and this 0 and choose 1 0 0. This is E1. Now M is this and E1, because all entries, first entry is non-zero and all entries are 0. So M A1 will give you 0 matrix, and this set containing 0 elements, so this will be not linearly independent anymore. So when rank 2, this matrix, this set is not linearly independent. When rank of M is 3, then this set will be linearly independent, because other options we already discard. We discard this one, this one, this one also, so it will be right choice. So option D is correct answer. If Sn equal to minus 1 raised to the power n upon 2n plus 3 and Tn is this, then summation Sn is absolutely convergent, summation Tn is absolutely convergent, summation Sn is conditionally convergent, and summation Tn is conditionally convergent. From option A and C, you can see if one is true, then other will be false. And from option B and D, if one is true, then other will be false. Now, what is conditionally convergent and absolute convergent? As if summation minus 1 raised to the power n an is a series, then if summation an, because I made this series as a positive term series taking mod values of all terms, then this series, if this series is convergent, if convergent, then we say this is absolutely convergent. When conditionally convergent, when original series is convergent but absolute series is not convergent. This series is convergent but this not convergent, then we say conditionally convergent. So if option A is true, then C will be false. If option B is true, then D will be false, because one is saying absolute convergence and others say conditionally convergent. Now come to solve this problem. First need to check its absolute convergent for Sn. Now Sn equal to minus 1 raised to the power n divided by 2n plus 3, then its summation will be by this. So made this positive term series, then positive term series will be summation 1 upon 2n 2 raised to the power n plus 3, and this series is less than 1 upon 2n. This is geometric series with common ratio half, and we know that geometric series with common ratio less than 1 is convergent. So by comparison test it is also convergent. Means positive term series or absolute values of terms when we made, then series is convergent. So option A is true. It means absolute convergent, so option C will be false. Now come to the option B. As summation minus 1 raised to the power n upon 4n minus 1, this is Tn, series Tn, then made this positive term series, it will be summation 1 upon 4n minus 1. It can be written as summation 1 upon n, 4 minus 1 upon n. So take this is a as Vn. Now Un, now this is as Tn upon Vn. Limit is finite and which is equal to 1 upon 4. So you can apply comparison test. Tn and Vn behave alike. Tn, this is Tn, sorry, positive term series. So Tn positive. I write Tn positive. So this one and Vn behave alike. What Vn is 1 upon n, it is divergent. This series Vn is divergent. So Tn positive term series is also divergent. But you can say by Leibniz test, series Tn minus 1 raised to the power n upon 4n minus 1. For Leibniz test, you need only left this sign. It means series 1 upon 4n minus 1. Now this is, consider this is an. So an equal to 1 upon 4n minus 1. You can see here, as we increase the value of n, then denominator will increase, so resultant will be decrease. So an is greater than an plus 1, means decreasing sequence also limit of 1 upon 4n minus 1 is tends to 0. So both condition of Leibniz test is fulfilled. So this series Tn is convergent. Summation Tn is convergent, but its absolute value means mod of Tn is not convergent. So conditionally convergent. So option A and D is true here. B and C are false. So this one right choice and this one is also right choice.